My name is Glory Elijah. Sure, you already know that by now. Well, this is frankly speaking with Glory Elijah, and I call myself the girl of the tea because, as usual, over here, there's always tea to be spilled. And yeah, I'm used to the lies. I'm used to it all. And for those of you that have followed me for the longest time, you know that once the show is over, Glory Elijah is to your tent, O Israel. Glory Elijah does not necessarily give a fuck about what the housemates say during their media rounds. But you see, this particular season, yeah, there's something peculiar about it, yeah. There's something about it. I wanted to because see the way these set of people portray themselves on the show. I wanted to see how they will wriggle their way out of it all during their media rounds. And oh my goodness, it was really pathetic. The lies. It was a lot. I was sick to my stomach. I repeat, I was sick to my stomach. Especially the one that kept on calling and said, biggest, director. Oh, what the fuck? What the fuck was that? What was that? Lying so blatantly? Anyways, not new because she was always lying on the show. Yeah, she was the one that stand. I'm just being myself. I'm just being myself. And then there was a question Ibuka asked Onyeka, and I second that question. I co-ask that question. He asked, okay, so where do you now draw the line? Because she was asked, if she used strategy or about her strategy. That was another radio station's interview. And she was like, oh, yes, she announced her strategy on the stage, but then she realized that she couldn't really use her strategy. And so for the rest of this season, she was just being real. She was just being herself. And I looked at this girl and I thought, hold on a second. Does this girl actually think the show is called 24/7 for a joke? Like, do these people actually think that there are people that don't watch the show at all? Do they think that everybody that watches Big Brother Naija actually watches the show from social media? Like, do they actually think that there are people that don't like what are they thinking? What are they thinking? For me, it's the audacity to come on your interview and you try to gaslight an entire viewing audience into thinking that they are dumb, that they are blind, that they are deaf and dumb. Like, are you okay? What would give you that audacity? What would make you think that you can get away with it? Eh? I'm just being real. I'm just being myself. Realness is so new. How? Realness. I did not play strategy. I did not play strategy. Oh, my mommy knows that I cry a lot. Shh, shush your mouth. For those of us that watched the show, we know that every time Onyeka cried, it was strategic. It worked for her the first time when she was in bottom four, and she realized that okay, the emotional blackmail worked, and she continued. And hey, that does not take away the fact that she played a very smart game. I mean, we give it to her. We've said it here before that we give it to her. She played a very smart game. She was very calculated, that girl. And I give it to her. It's not easy to be able to pull off such level of manipulation on the Big Brother show. We give it to her. And you see, we welcome manipulation. We appreciate people that are very skillful in playing that game of manipulation. But what we do not appreciate is when you play that game and you now come out of the house and you are now coming to come and gaslight people into thinking it was you being real. So this is what I did. I said, okay, fine. Since they think we're stupid, okay, let's also play the dumb card with them. Right? So if Onyeka and Ozzy especially are saying that, oh, I was just being real, I was just being myself, let us define the level of realness that we experience from these two people. And I'm going to speak from my own point of view, all right? Because aside being an analyst of the show, I'm also a viewer, right? I do not just watch the show for analytical purposes. I also watch the show for entertainment purposes, right? So let us define and outline the level of realness and the level of I was just being myself that Onyeka and Ozzy displayed on the show. Since everybody wants to be mad, let us join the bandwagon of madness. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a fact that Ozzy and Onyeka especially were very smart the entire season. They were very smart, especially when it came to wager task, right? They really gave their best. They did great. Hence the reason Onyeka bagged the title of Director O, right? Now, it wasn't like there wasn't any other housemate in the house that was not capable of giving their best, but most of them were just lazy. The only time we saw them really come alive is on the stage on the night of their wager task presentation. But for Onyeka fought to back that title. She really wanted to prove herself, and she was given the opportunity and several other opportunities. So it wasn't like Onyeka was the smartest person in the house. She wasn't. There were so many other housemates that were equally or even more smarter than her. And the person that won the season, kellyrae, was the smartest because he was the only housemate that did not lose his guard. Yes, I said it and I'll say it again. He was that one housemate that did not lose his guard from start to finish. If we talk about one housemate that stuck to the theme of the season and interpreted it to completion, it was kellyrae. But Onyeka and Ozzy, they did play their games though. Let's not take that away from him or both of them. They played their game. They played their card. Onyeka was quite calculative. So was Ozzy. They were very calculative. But as I mentioned before, let us define the level of I was just being real. I was just being myself that they both displayed on the show. We begin with Onyeka. Aside all of her smartness, aside her level of creativity, which was average in my opinion, because there were other housemates that were equally creative or even more. Onyeka was a blatant liar. Onyeka portrayed herself to be a chronic liar. Like lying came easy to Onyeka. You know those people that they lie so much that they believed their own lies. Please, if there's a name for it, provide it in the comment section. Onyeka portrayed herself on Big Brother Naija season 9 No Lose Guard season. She portrayed herself to be a blatant, chronic, pathological liar to the point that even her own sister, Chizoba, knew that she had a problem. And there were times when her own sister, her blood sister, called her out on her bullshit. And then they will quarrel and fight over these things. So if Onyeka is telling us, okay, maybe not us, if she's telling the interviewers that I was just being myself, I was just being real, I'm not being real, then the real Onyeka that she's selling to us is Onyeka the liar, the chronic, pathological liar. Another way Onyeka portrayed herself, her real self, her I was just being myself self on the show was a very malicious individual. Very malicious towards who? Cassia and Victoria. She was very malicious. If you watched the show, you followed that show from start to finish, you know that this is a fact. Onyeka was malicious. Onyeka was so malicious to the point that even her sister Chizoba called her out for it when they will go for their duo diary sessions and she will leave what they're supposed to be talking about and be gossiping about what's her name now? She'll be gossiping, reporting Victoria to Big Brother. And the sister will ask her, what is your business? The first time she talked about that short skirt thing, she talked about it in the diary room. And Chizoba asked her, what is your business? How is it your business? And she was like, I know that Victoria likes Ozzy, but she's just acting like that. And her sister asked her, what is your business? Very malicious. Onyeka portrayed herself to be very, very vicious. Vicious in the sense that once she carries you in mind, she wants to make sure she tarnishes your image. Onyeka was on a 24/7 smear campaign against Cassia and Victoria. At some point, kellyrae. Onyeka was on a 24/7, what's that word now? Character assassination against Victoria and Cassia. If you watched the show, if this one is not a matter of somebody told you, if you watched the show, you know. She was on a character assassination. The height of it, ladies and gentlemen, was the night that the DRC agents had that interesting, chaotic evening with OC and OZ. And Onyeka, she was not part of it. It was not her business. She was sleeping when the Ojoma was happening. Oh, and then she woke up and she ate. And she was hearing all the chaos. And they told her, don't worry. OC and OZ have handled it all. Don't worry about it. And she said, no, she wants to involve herself. And then she involved herself just to catch some highlights, which I give to her. Because, hey, nobody came to Big Brother's house to count bridge, Abby. Everybody came to Big Brother's house to give us content. And she came to, catch her own highlights. She caught her own highlights. But at the end of all her noise, what did she do? She started blaming Victoria and Cassia as the reason for the DRC agents causing that chaos. That was the height of it. That was the height of her maliciousness and her viciousness. Telling her fellow housemates, you see what I told you people? If not for them, if not for the fact that they are friends with those people, why would those people be doing all these things to us? How is it Cassia and Victoria's fault? Tell me if that is not viciousness at the highest order. Tell me if that is not maliciousness at the highest order. Since Onyeka said she was just being herself, since she said, oh, I was just being real. Well, the realness that I saw most of the time that Onyeka portrayed this entire season was someone that was a liar, manipulator, very malicious, very vicious, vindictive on all levels, very vicious. What else did we see? Oh, very envious. The relationship between OZ and Victoria was a bone in Onyeka's neck. And that envy birthed the malice that she carried on against Victoria and Cassia till the end of the season. That envy birthed that vindictiveness in her towards those people. That envy birthed the vicious gossips that she peddled around the house against those people. And that brings me to my next point. Onyeka claimed during her media rounds that she was not a gossip, that gossip came to her. Onyeka was the biggest gossip of the season. Quote me anywhere. Onyeka was the biggest gossip. It's on record. It was all there the entire season. Onyeka was the biggest gossip. Onyeka talking about real, I was being real. I'm sorry. When we talk about one housemate that was fake on all levels, Onyeka was fake. Her tears were fake. The way she talked on the show, it was fake. I analyzed her speeches to all of you. I analyzed the way Onyeka spoke. And I told you all, Onyeka would talk like a child that was babbling. Just to give off the air of, oh my God, I am naive. I don't know what I'm doing. But she knew what she was doing. Onyeka was fake on all levels. So when she was going around media, I was talking about, I was being real. Well, she wasn't being real. She was fake on all levels. Most of the time, the sentiments that she expressed to her fellow housemates, they were not real. They were fake. Now, if Onyeka came out and said it was all for the game, she was being strategic at some point, then we will give her accolades and call her the best gamer of the season. But then she does not deserve that title. She can't even earn that title because she really took everything personal. She mixed so many vileness at the highest order in everything that she did. Oh, what else? Deception. Onyeka was very deceptive. Very deceptive, very territorial, very insecure. She portrayed herself to be a very insecure person. Her insecurities were what she projected on Victoria, saying that Victoria went to wear short skirts because of OZ. Well, we actually saw Onyeka in that element most of the time. Yep. Delusional. Onyeka was very delusional. So if Onyeka said she was just being herself, then it means she's delusional by nature. If she said she was just being herself, she was just being real, it means she's a liar by nature. It means she is vicious, malicious, a gossip, envious, a deceptive person by nature. It means she's territorial and insecure by nature. If she's telling us, she actually said it during her media rounds that I was just being myself, I was just being real. Real recognizes real. Well, hello, madam. I hope you understand what you mean by you were being real. And you see, to some extent, I don't blame her. It is production I blame once again. We actually call that production a lot this season. It's production I blame, and also Ebuka. If Ebuka did not go and ask Cassia, in fact, drill Cassia the way he drilled Cassia that particular Sunday night, making it look like Cassia was the one that was peddling false narrative against Onyeka. Onyeka would not be sitting on this high horse today, thinking that she was vindicated of all of her malice, of all her viciousness. So, in a way, it's Ebuka I actually blame. So, watching her interviews, oh my God, I was sick to my stomach. Deflecting, deflecting from the questions, and then the whole thing about the biggest O, the biggest O. I'm sorry if you don't have audacity, if you cannot own up to your bullshit. I'm sorry, you're not the biggest O, you're the tiniest O, the tiniest one. Where are your balls? Tell me, where are your balls? If you don't have the balls to own up to the game that you played this entire season, because girl, give yourself a pat on the back, Onyeka, you played this game. You played the game. So why are you lying? Why are you lying? Why are you going around your media rounds and you're lying and you're playing the victim card? Girl, be proud of the game you played. Or aren't you proud of yourself? Oh, probably it's shame. Probably it's shame. You call yourself the biggest or the biggest, well, I'm sorry, you're not. You're not. If you cannot own up to your bullshit, if you cannot beat your full chest and say, okay, yes, I played the game in this manner, I played the game in that manner, I'm sorry, you're not the biggest one, you're the tiniest one. Yep. Let's call a spade a spade. Talk about Onyeka's interview, right? I'm just going to be brief about this one. Talk about Onyeka's interview. Now, she said her being real got her from bottom 4 to bottom 3. And that was the reason I asked, what does realness mean to you? Is it a game of deception, the game of lies, the game of gossip, manipulation, desperation, maliciousness, viciousness, or was it all a strategy to get to the top? If Onyeka comes today and tells me that all those things she did in the house was a game, a strategy, I will applaud her. Because for me, as a gamer, you hold nothing back. You give it your best, you give it your all. I will applaud her. But if she continues with this narrative of I'll just be myself, well, you've shown the world how vicious and vile you can be. And I hope you're proud of yourself. But really, it's nothing to be proud of. And then, she claiming that she's not a gossip. Well, I put out a tweet 2 days ago about it was a video. Somebody had made a compilation of all the many times Onyeka gossiped about Victoria maliciously to Ndi, to Wani, to her sister Chizoba. She talked about Victoria as well in the diary room during her diary session. She talked about Victoria to Ozzy as well. And somebody took down the video, probably the owner of the video, but somebody sent the video to me, so I posted it here, whatever. Yeah. But me too, I have my own collection. And if I decide to do my collection, I swear, Onyeka will not want to grant an interview anymore because it's a lot. It's a lot. So for someone that claims to not be a gossip, seriously, how? How? And then Onyeka saying that she did not want a sheep in the house because she saw how dramatic it was for other people. Today they are crying, tomorrow they are complaining. And then she wanted to see how far she would go, playing an individual game. Ladies and gentlemen, I put it to you that Onyeka was in a sheep the entire season. Take it or leave it. And you see, this is the part where a lot of people mistake it for definitions, right? I think a lot of people mistake these definitions. People think that in the Big Brother Naija house, a sheep is only defined when it is romantic. When people kiss, when they shower together. I'm sorry, that is not the only definition of a sheep. If you are in a friendship situationship with somebody and there's loyalty and you have that person's back for life, that qualifies to be a sheep. Because you both hold what you have sacred. If your housemate is in a triangle or in an entanglement with someone, it doesn't matter if they tell each other, I'm your boyfriend, I'm your girlfriend. In fact, it doesn't matter. What matters are the actions that carries that ship. And between Ozzy and Onyeka, that was legit a ship. Whether Onyeka wants to lie to herself or not, we will help her to tell herself the truth that she was in a ship. She was. She was in a ship. Whether Ozzy claimed, because she said at some point in one of her interviews that she knew that Ozzy had a ship outside, so she was playing with Ozzy because she knew that nothing would happen. It's a lie. It's a lie. She was trying her luck to see whether the guy would consider her. It was obvious. It was very obvious. Very, very obvious. Very, very obvious. Onyeka was in a ship with Ozzy. It was an entanglement. It was a triangle, a certified triangle. Ozzy knew. Onyeka wanted that triangle. She made it happen. Ozzy decided to be the chairman, the chief of the triangle. Victoria, that was inside the triangle, she knew what she was doing. She was entertaining it. Because, of course, it made for good TV. It made for good conversations. It made people talk. And they knew what they were doing. So, Onyeka talking about, I did not want to be in the ship. I did not be in the ship. I went to the finals by myself. It's a lie. You see that triangle narrative? It contributed greatly to propelling Onyeka from bottom 4 to top 3. If there was no triangle, if there was no Ozzy in the picture, if there was no Victoria in the picture, Onyeka's storyline would not have been complete. And in one of our interviews, she was claiming that she gave everybody a storyline. Excuse you, Onyeka, I'm sorry, you were not all that. Stop giving yourself too much accolade. You were not that, I'm sorry, you were not that great. You were great, but you were not that great. You were not that great to the point of giving everybody a storyline. No, people had their own storyline. Are you going to say that you gave kellyrae and Cassia their storyline? Are you going to say that you gave Suj and Nelly their storyline? Are you going to say you gave Tofa and Anita their storyline? Those two, they had a very, very chaotic relationship. Are you going to say you gave those two their storyline? Are you going to say you gave Ruti and Mwani their storyline? Like, seriously, girl, come out of your bubbles. Your delusion is too much. Come out of your bubbles. It's too much. You're getting all swallowed up by your own self-aggrandizement. You know, just come out of it. It's too much. You know? What else? She said she was drawn to the Mbadiwe twins because of her sister's friendship with OC. If I talk, people will say Glory is brutal. I'm going to leave that one. I've said it before. I'm not going to say it again. I leave that one. We know why Onyeka became close with them Mbadiwe twins. So I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to leave it at that. But we know. But we're going to say we won't talk. But we know. We know. We won't talk. But we know. And then, finally, on Onyeka, her denying that she has any ill intentions towards Victoria, that her heart is pure towards Victoria, that her apologies to Victoria were genuine. Lies. Ladies and gentlemen, lies. This boils down to what we say again, that when somebody is so used to lying, that they also lie to themselves to the point of even believing their own lies, that is Onyeka for you. I said it. Was it on 2 occasions or 1 occasion that Onyeka has mentioned Victoria's name on the stage during their wager presentation the previous week and, you know, the other one? And when she was talking about if I have done anything to you, number 1, that was a conditional apology, meaning she did not think she did anything wrong to Victoria. Number 2, you've never had a conversation. Okay, not she's never, they've tried, Victoria has tried, but you refuse to have a conversation with this person to settle your differences. You go about peddling false narratives about this person, assassinating this girl's character, peddling lies about this person, defaming this person's personality in that house, trying to incite the malice of your fellow housemates against this person and her best friend. And you claim you do not have any ill intentions towards this person. Onyeka, are you being real with yourself? Onyeka, are you being honest with yourself? Oh, you want to tender an apology to someone on the stage. What happened to having a prior conversation with the person first, so as not to take the person unawares? Or maybe there was no opportunity to do that, but then that's a lie because hey, it's Big Brother's house, there's always time, right? Or after you mention the person's name on stage, the moment people go into the house, you pull the person aside. You tell them, oh, I'm so sorry. I meant what I said on that stage. I'm so sorry. I would like for us to have a conversation and trash out our differences. But no, Onyeka did not do that. Instead, she was still carrying face up and down for Victoria. She was still even mentioning Victoria's name. If really Onyeka had nothing against, these people think I'm joking. These people really think I'm joking. If really Onyeka had nothing in mind against Victoria, I don't know if you all recall that it was after they did that their wager that the DRC agents participated in, right? Was it that night? That one that they shot a film about their trauma, and she mentioned Victoria's name on stage or something, and then they had that whole DRC situation that night, and then she still blamed Victoria and Cassia for what the DRC agents did. Is that how somebody that has a pure heart behaves? I mean, sometimes this girl behaves like people don't watch the show. She thinks it's only she and the cameras in the whole wide world. Like people don't watch the show. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I said it and I'm going to say it again. Onyeka's apology to Victoria was fake. It was not genuine. It is not genuine. Onyeka has a lot in mind against Victoria. Even though the show is over, it is still there. So her going about her media rounds and talking about, I've apologized and this and that, it's a lie. Her going about her media rounds and talking about, I tried to be the bigger person, I took 10 steps forward to apologize, it's a lie. The apology was fake. It was not genuine. It was for the optics. She was trying to show the world that, oh, I have a soft heart. Even though somebody offended me, I can actually apologize. It's a lie. It was all for show. It was all for the optics. It was not real. It was not genuine. It was all a lie. It was fake. Fake, fake, fake. That was what the apology was. There was nothing to it. It was dust. Thank you so much once again for joining. I'll see you guys on another episode of Frankly Speaking with Gloria Elijah. Thanks for watching and have an amazing, amazing night's rest and a fantastic weekend. Good night and bye.